Hey everyone, a little bit of a different video this time. This is going to be one of those videos that I make sometimes where I just want to talk about some stuff regarding this game. This also lets me save some of my other bigger videos for next week, as the balance changes coming in the next patch are most likely going to shake the game up quite a bit. So I wanted to take this time to just go over some general things that I'd like to see in the game for the future. So let me now get into the top 10 things I'd like to see added in the finals. Now, something that I think would be super beneficial for the community would be letting us have a resource where we can see general weapon statistics. And I'm not talking about like DPS or time to kills or anything like that. I'm talking like win-loss ratios and things like that. Some other games have this for their heroes, like Marvel Rivals or Rainbow Six Siege, where you can kind of go in and see how different weapons perform at different ranks and things like that. And I think that it would be really helpful to see how different weapons perform in different ranks in the finals. It would be great for us content creators, and I also think it would be great for just the general finals player base at large, so they can kind of see what people are using in higher levels, what is being used in lower levels, kind of just to bridge that divide that some of the more casual players and more of the competitive players have, and just kind of showing us those raw statistics where we can kind of come to our own conclusions and be like, oh wait, this weapon is being used at a high level, I didn't realize that, or vice versa. So that's one thing that I would really like to see. But the second thing that I think is super important is fixing the spawns in this game. I don't know what it is, but every single time I play ranked, it seems like there's always two teams spawning on top of my cash out for some reason. This happens ridiculously often. And for a while, I thought that people were just kind of like griefing me out because I was a YouTuber, you know? Sometimes that happens, especially in ranked last season when there wasn't like a proper streamer mode. And it's definitely gotten a little bit better this season, but there are still so many times where there's like two teams that spawn right on top of my cash out, and I'm basically playing the game on hard mode. So I don't know what it is with the spawn system right now, but it's really weird, especially in ranked. And I'd really like to see that fixed so that I can kind of have a more measured experience without fighting the whole lobby. I don't know, have you guys been experiencing this as well? Is it just me, or have you guys also been having a lot of trouble with the spawns? Let me know in the comments. Now, the third thing that I think a lot of people would like to see is a Kyoto map rework. We haven't really gotten too many map reworks in the finals. I mean, we just got this Las Vegas kind of reskin, and it was a little bit of a rework, but when I'm talking about a Kyoto rework, I'm talking like terraforming it to an extent. There are some areas in Kyoto, especially like the bamboo forest, that I just do not really like. And I know a lot of other people also struggle with like frame rate in Kyoto as well, probably because of the bamboo forest, if we're being honest. So I think that Kyoto could really do with a nice rework. And I think if it does get reworked, that a lot of people might like that map a little bit more instead of it being one of the universally most disliked maps in the finals. It is a very nice looking map, and I like them to keep the general aesthetic of it, but just make the map flow a little bit better, make it run a little bit better on different systems, and I think then we'll be good. The fourth thing that I would like to see are more individual scope sensitivities and an easy way to access turning off aim smoothing. So we kind of have the ability to customize individual scope sensitivities. We have the ability to customize the sniper scope sensitivity and then the normal scope sensitivities. For those of you who might not be aware of this, there are a couple more magnification types in the finals than just ADS and sniper, because some of the different scopes actually have like a 1.1 times magnification or like a 2 times magnification, depending on the scope that you pick. It doesn't really say this on the scopes, but it's definitely there, and you can definitely feel it. If you're someone like me who likes to match their hipfire sensitivity to their scope on their ADS at least, this can really throw you off with some of those longer range scopes where you might want to dial that back a little. But yeah, I just like to see those added. I'm not sure how hard that would be from a game dev perspective, but I think that it would be a really nice quality of life option. And the other thing that they need to add is a way to just turn off aim smoothing normally in the menu. For those of you who don't know, there's a setting within the game script engine that turns on aim smoothing. For those of you who don't know what aim smoothing is, it basically tries to make your aim like a little bit better by removing little bits of inconsistencies in your mouse movement, but this can actually end up hurting you a lot, and it messes with your aim training as well if you like to do aim training. You generally want to have this off. Some games like Marvel Rivals also had this on for a long time, but they added it as a settings option to be able to turn it off. For some reason, this is still not in the finals and you have to literally go into the script engine and paste a command to turn it off. So I would really like to see this as a setting that you can just toggle on or off, because it really shouldn't be on. All it does is hurt your aim. Even if the developers think it helps, it does not, I promise you. Another thing that I really think would help in this game is improved footstep audio, and specifically vertical footstep audio. There's a lot of times where I can kind of just randomly pinpoint where a person is on the map because of their footstep sound. And then other times I just like do not hear them at all. And then there are times when I can't tell if there's someone above me or below me. And it just gets really, really irritating, especially when there's like so much background noise in this game, like map ambiance, explosions, gunfire. Sometimes I can just exactly pinpoint where someone is, and other times I just cannot hear anything, and they just completely get the drop on me, and it feels super, super inconsistent. Now, I know sound issues can be a difficult thing to fix. I mean, Apex Legends still hasn't fixed them, and it's been like, what, 6 years since that game came out? But I think that this is a super, super important thing that they should try to focus on if they want this game to be more competitive in the future, which seems like kind of the direction they're taking it with this tournament coming up. So I would definitely recommend putting more focus on trying to fix those audio issues. Now, this one is for ranked specifically. I would like them to remove the amount of cash that you get from getting a double plug in ranked. Now, why would you want to do that? The easy answer is to combat griefing. I'm not sure if many of you have dealt with this, but basically in ranked, if you are the first place team, you can try to double the last cash out and then try to grief out the other teams by letting the last place team get in, which is kind of cheesy and kind of just makes it so that if you're not in first place, you can kind of get knocked out at any point. Even if you were doing super, super well the entire game, if the enemy team just decides to team with the last place team, they can just grief you out, and it's really, really an unfun experience. So I think that the devs should try to address this. I think this really turns a lot of people off from ranked, and I think that if this was adjusted, I think we would have a much more balanced system. Now listen, I'm all for comeback mechanics to an extent. I don't think that if you are dead last and the team in first place decides to try and get you in, that should be rewarded in the current ranked system, which it is. So I think that they need to do something about that. Now keep in mind, this is for ranked specifically, because in World Tour, sometimes double plugging is the only way that you will be able to win, because you can't just like wipe the other team. So I would say that implementing this in ranked specifically would be a good move. The seventh thing I would like to see are more map variants. I don't know why we haven't seen very many map variants lately. I know it's like extra time that you have to work on a map, but they were so cool getting that little bit of variety in. And I'm not talking about just like suspended structures or something like that. I'm talking like under construction Kyoto, or Sandstorm Las Vegas, or any of those things. I really liked those changes to maps that just made your games and tournaments feel different, and kind of encourages you to bring other loadouts as well in case you get those maps. So I think that just having a couple more of those for some other maps would be a really cool addition. Now, the eighth thing that I would like them to do is to either buff or remove the game show events, and if they did buff them, maybe warn people ahead of time before the match starts. So the thing with the game show events is right now they don't really do a whole ton. It's like they don't do enough to be like really, really interesting, but they also do too much that it gets annoying for certain loadouts. So I think that what they should do is, one, and this is the thing that I'm more in favor of, making the game show events a little bit more crazy, but also telling people in the loadout selection what game show events there are going to be so that you can prep your loadout ahead of time. Or two, just get rid of them, because I know things like anti-gravity, they can be really, really annoying for melee builds, but for other people it's just kind of a nuisance, and it's a little bit random if you get them. And then there are things like mega damage, which are just like, why? It doesn't really do much. It's not like the buildings are falling all over the place in mega damage for the most part. So yeah, I think that they need to take another look at the game show events. Another thing I would like for them to look at is for them to make pyro nade and gas nade worth running. Right now, pyro nade, it's okay, and gas nade is just way worse than gas mines. So there's just really not much point in running these two things. And I mean, like, yes, they're okay. You can make them work for sure, but pretty much everything else is a better option. For instance, why would I want to run a gas grenade when I can just put two mines underneath the cash out point, shoot them when someone starts stealing, and my two other mines are going to be recharging in my inventory while those two other gas mines just sit there? It doesn't make sense to me. So I would like for them to take another look at the pyro nade and the gas nade, because I would really like a reason for people to actually run these in the higher levels of the game, because no one really uses this past like quick cash. Now, the final thing that I think they should add is being able to choose your ranked reward and possibly add ranked splits. Now, let me talk about the first one because I am much more in favor of this first part, and that's being able to choose your ranked reward. Let's say that you get to platinum rank, and the platinum weapon for this season is the spear or something like that, right? But maybe you're a light player and running the spear is completely useless to you, and you want to have an M11 skin instead or something like that. If you are this light player and you just want to hit platinum, I know a lot of people's goal is just to hit platinum, you're not really going to be incentivized to push for platinum this season, which means that less people are going to be trying ranked at a given time, which is just worse for the game. I think there's really no downsides to letting us pick which ranked weapon that we can get for a season. Now, I'm not saying that you must have a ranked reward for every single weapon. What I am saying is that you should be able to pick old ranked rewards if you want them for that season. The only argument I could see against this is maybe arguing for like some sort of OG status or something like that, but that's what the profile banner and the weapon charm and the sticker are for. Those all say which season you played the ranked in, and then even at the top level, those players don't really necessarily care about that OG status, they just like the leaderboard placement. So just for those people who really want those weapon skins, I don't see a reason not to give them that. And then the second thing that I think would keep people more engaged with ranked throughout the season is possibly adding ranked splits. Now, this is something that I want to hear your guys' feedback on, because I know ranked splits are a bit of a controversial topic sometimes. They work pretty well for some games like Apex. I know Apex took away ranked splits once, and people really didn't like it, so they added them back. What do you guys think? Do you think that having ranked splits would be a good thing for this game? And just to clarify, for those of you who don't know what a ranked split is, a ranked split is basically that midway through the season, you get put back roughly 2 ranks, and then you have to work your way up again. And this is just kind of to reset and refresh things. And sometimes you can also get a specific reward for each ranked split. So maybe you might get 2 ranked rewards if you played for the full ranked season instead of just getting the one that you normally would. So something like that. I don't know. You guys let me know on this one. I would personally like to see it, but I would like to hear what you guys think on that. Yeah, so those are 10 things that I would personally like to see added to the finals. If you guys can also think of some other things that you would like to see added, or if you want to just ask me any questions or have a little discussion about these things, feel free to comment those down below or ask me these questions directly in my Discord server, which I will have linked in the description and on the pinned comment. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.